Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This video is brought to you by Edullect Academy. Ahsanul Qawaid sessions are delivered by Ustadh Shah Ali. Please like, subscribe and share.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. All praise and thanks belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We send our abundant salutations and prayers upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Alhamdulillah, we're now in lesson 16 on page number 24, and we've made significant progress. Now we're going to begin to see how words are pronounced with the variation of things that we've studied so far. So in the exercises that we are about to embark on, we're going to actually begin to recite words. In fact, all of the words that you've recited so far are from the Quran. So those words that you've recited are actually taken from the Quran, which was fantastic because you'll be familiar with those words. Now we're going to see more of those words appearing, and all of the things that we've studied so far are now going to begin to gradually come in, and we're going to begin to recite them in the way that they should be recited with the tajweed in them. Okay, so everything that you've learned so far will now begin to be introduced. So in lesson 16, we are now going to focus on reciting with the sukoon on other letters, and also begin to introduce all of the other elements that we've studied so far, the stretching of the word and how to pronounce the different words, stretching of the letters and how to pronounce the letters, and so on, okay, with the right makhraj or the right pronunciation. Okay, so let's make a start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So Alif Nun Fatha An. Okay, so I'm not going to spell it out, only where it's necessary, but I'm just going to pronounce how the word is pronounced. Okay, so I'd like you to repeat after me. So let's make a start. An, id. So one thing to note over here in both of these, do not let go of the nun until the sound is stopped, because then if you don't and you continue, then you will make an echo sound, a bounce, which will introduce a qalqala, and that's not what you should be doing. So it's an, not anna, and it's id, not either. Okay, so it's id, and then you stop, then you move your tongue away from your teeth. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and note how I say it. So pay a lot of close attention to how I'm pronouncing, which is why you've got the you've got me right beside this page so that you can see how I'm pronouncing, inshallah. So again, let's just repeat again. An, id, in, bal, tub. Now here, you'd note that I did make a sound with a B. I actually created a bounce. So that's because a ba is a qalqala letter. Okay, so say it again. Tub. One more time. Tub. Good. Khudh. Da'. Now this is a bit difficult to pronounce, so let's do it one more time. Da'. And one final time. Da'. Good. Dhuq. Now on the qaf, when you've got a sukoon, then qaf again is another qalqala letter. So in your Ahsan al-Qawaid book, can you just mark this, please? So write down that the ba over here, there's a bounce, and you can put qalqala. So for tub on the b, ba here, and on the qaf. So write that down so you remember next time when you recite this. So dhuq. One more time. One more time. Dhuq. One more time. Dhuq. Good. Moving on. Dharni. Now the ra in this case assimilates a full mouth, like your ra is not dhar, wide mouth, it's a dhar, ra. and simply because it's going to take on the characteristics based on the harakat or the fatha that's placed on the letter before it. Okay, so again, dharni. Okay, so make a note. Ra is full mouth. Dharni. One more time. Dharni. Okay, now we move to zidni. Again, zidni. I think you've probably noted I've said qalqala or an echo bounce on the dal. So again, what is this? It's a qalqala letter. Okay, so circle it and write a note here somewhere in the book to say it's a bounce. Okay, or you can put qalqala if you wanted to. So zidni, one more time. Zidni, mashallah. Continuing. Sal. Don't let go of the lam until the sound is stopped. Otherwise it becomes a qalqala and it's not a qalqala letter. Sal. Okay? One more time. Sal. This one next. Fasur. Not fasur. It's fasur. Sur. Okay? One more time. Fasur. Good. An. Again. An. Good. Eid. Eid. So here it's again you'll note that I've echoed here on the dal, so you might want to put a note that dal is also a qalqala. And again, I'll give you a full list of the qalqala letters as part of notes. So Eid, one more time, mashallah. Moving on, wa'id, wa'id. Note how I'm pronouncing this one, wa'id. Okay, good. Qad. Again, if the dal it's got a sukoon, it makes a bouncing noise. Qalqala. Qad. So just make a note of that. One more time. Qad. Next. Qul. Qul. Moving on. Next. Kam. Next. Lakum. Next. Kun. Moving on. Kul. Next. Lam. Next. Lan. Next. Man. Next. Min. Moving on. Hab. Now over here again, just circle so that you identify that as the bounce letter or qalqala letter. Hab. One more time. Hab. Good. Li. Again, lam, ya, kasra, you stretch it simply. It's simply stretched. Li. Li. Good. Fahal. Again, fahal. Next, lahum. Okay, so that completes the sukoon on the letters, and also we've been able to identify some of the qalqala letters or the letters that have a bounce. And I'll give you, I'll prepare some notes on identifying the different letters and their characteristics, and hopefully that will benefit you. In the meantime, I don't want you to get too bogged down with the tajweed rules to any detail apart from the way we are reciting, simply because it may overwhelm you, because that is a particular study on its own, inshallah. So you'll be absolutely fine. So do exactly as I say and just take notes of the bits that I've mentioned and you'll be absolutely fine. But there will be a separate session there where we look at qalqala and all the other tajweed rules in much more details, inshallah, and inshallah you will benefit from that. So now let's do the exercise. Now the exercise is rather long, for this session. So therefore, you'll have to continue to do it with me. Now, if you need to break up the video and do it in a couple of parts, then please do that. But for the purpose of the exercise, I'm just going to go through all of them. Okay, we're now introducing a number of rules in the way that we recite, and therefore I'd like you to pay close attention to the way I'm reciting. Okay, so each one of these words I'm going to recite 3 times, and I'd like you to repeat it 3 times with me immediately after I say them. Okay, so let's make a start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Idfa', idfa'. Again, idfa'. Now remember, over here, fa'ain, fa'. Okay, and this is qalqala, or bounce on the dal. Idfa'. Okay, moving on. Idhab. Again, idhab. One more time. Idhab. Next. Anzil. Now, you'll note that I've held on the nun. And the reason why I hold on the nun is because over here we are doing something which we call a ghunna. So we are holding on the nun and making a n sound, because the letter after it tells me that this is a particular type of letter from a particular group of letters, and they are called the ikhfa letters. Again, you don't have to remember the terminologies that much, but if you wanted to write down, so whenever you have a nun sakin, then you have an ikhfa letter, then you will have to hold the nun for around 2 seconds, okay, or 2 beats. So anzil. Okay, one more time. Anzil. Okay, next. Amhil. 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 Next. Alqat. Now this is a light t sound, okay, light t sound, but I'm not doing a bounce. Alqat, like that. Okay, one more time. Alqat. MashaAllah. Atmim. Again, atmim. Light t sound. Remember, again, atmim. Next, amsik. Light kaf. Amsik. One more time. Amsik. Next, isbir. Now here, the ra assimilates the characteristics based on the letter before it and what it has, the harakat it has. Okay, so the vowel in this case is a kasra, so therefore the ra assimilates a empty mouth ra, so bir as opposed to bir. Okay, so note that. So again, bir. So alif sad is a full mouth character, and it's a heavy character, so is, then you go to bir, widen your mouth. Okay, one more time. Is bir. Again, is bir. MashaAllah. So now we move to next word, urkud. Again, urkud. Now here, the dad. This is one which is fairly difficult for many students to pronounce, simply because the dad, some teachers teach students to pronounce it and not really sound the word, and it sort of almost stays in the stomach, like urkud. So you're actually not pronouncing the word fully. Some part of it is remaining inside. Okay, so if you can just listen to how I'm doing it, and also see how I'm pronouncing on the video, then that will really help for you to understand. So again, urkud. I'm not saying urkud. Okay, I'm not saying that, because if I did that, then it will introduce a qalqala, or a echo, and it's not one of those echo letters. Okay, so urqud, urqud. Okay, one more time, urqud. MashaAllah. Next, ahsin. Alhamdulillah. Ahsin. One more time. Ahsin. Next, yaghfir. Same rule as the one that we had over here. Isbir. Here, same. The fa kasra means the ra becomes an empty mouth. Again, yaghfir. Okay, so the ghain in this case, don't do a bounce on the ghain. Yaghfir. Don't do that. It's you let go of the ghain. Yagh, and then move to the fa. Fir. Yaghfir. Okay, one more time. Yaghfir. MashaAllah. Next, tasma'. Again, tasma'. One more time. Tasma'. Next, ziltum. 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 Next, qultum. Qultum. One more time. Qultum. MashaAllah. Next, yu'zim. A difficult one. Ya ayn. Okay? Ya ayn. Yu'zim. One more time. Yu'zim. So practice that so that you get used to it, inshallah. Next, aqatul. Again, qalqala on the qaf. Okay, so circle this and note that it's a qalqala or echo letter. Again, aqatul. One more time. Aqatul. Next, yudkhilkum. Again, qalqala on the dal. Yudkhilkum. One more time. Yudkhilkum. MashaAllah. Next, naqasus. Again, qalqala on the qaf. Okay, that's a qalqala letter. So naqasus. One more time. Naqasus. MashaAllah. Next, lakuntum. I'm holding the nun because ta is one of the ikhfa letters. It's from that category, and therefore you hold the nun. Okay, so one more time. Lakuntum. One more time. Lakuntum. Next, tibtum. Ta, ta. Okay, ba is a qalqala. We're making an echo there. Tibtum. One more time. Tibtum. MashaAllah. So now we move to page 25. Qawmi. That's relatively straightforward. Qawmi. One more time. Qawmi. Next. Aidi. Again. Aidi. One more time. Aidi. Next. Ruhi. 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 Dini. 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 Kaidi. 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 ضيفي. 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 Moving on. تدعو. 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 يرجو. 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 تتلو. 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 نبلوكم. نبلوكم. نبلوكم يعفو 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 أنت أنت. Again, I'm holding the noon here because ta is from the family of ikhfa. أنت. Hold on the noon. أنت. لست 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 بطش. Now, ta is one of the qalqala letters, so there is a bounce there. بطش. Again, بطش. MashaAllah. بعض بعض بعض. نحن نحن نحن. أخرج أخرج أخرج. أرسل أرسل أرسل. نعبد نعبد نعبد. ألهم. Don't create a bounce on the lam, okay? ألهم ألهم. رفعنا رفعنا رفعنا. And moving on. يحسب يحسب يحسب. يوسوس يوسوس يوسوس. أغطش أغطش. Finally, أغطش. فرغت فرغت فرغت. الحمد. It's really important here on the ha, you pronounce the ha as opposed to ha. Again, alhamdu. One last time. Alhamdu. An'amta. Again, no bounce on the noon, please. So, an'amta. An'amta. A'tainaka. Alif ain. Like that, okay? أعطيناك. Again, أعطيناك. One more time, because this is a bit difficult. أعطيناك. MashaAllah. Next. أنزلناه. Again, I'm holding the noon here, okay? أنزلناه. One more time. أنزلناه. MashaAllah. Moving on. يشهد يشهد يشهد. ترهق ترهق ترهق. تعرف. Again, تعرف تعرف. أقسم أقسم أقسم. يشرب يشرب يشرب. نصبت 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 سطحت 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 أثرنا 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 وسطنا وسطنا. Again, ta, remember that's a qalqala, so note how I'm saying. وسطنا. Okay, one more time. وسطنا. MashaAllah. بإذن بإذن بإذن. Moving on. سيعلمون 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 يستوفون يستوفون. One last time. يستوفون ينظرون. Again, I'm holding the noon here. Now, when you study the tajweed with me, you will notice that the way that you do ghunna on a noon sakin, it could be heavy or it could be light depending on what letter comes after it. So this is a letter of ikhfa, so from that family, but it's also from the heavy letters family as well. So as a result, the noon ghunna, you hold the noon, is quite heavy, okay? But I wouldn't want you to worry too much about the technicalities at the moment. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves. We want to keep it as simple as possible. So just recite as I recite, and then when you study the tajweed with me, inshallah, or separately on your own, then you will notice how to why you're pronouncing it the way that you are pronouncing it. So let's repeat this again. ينظرون. So it's the gunna is heavy on this in this case. ينظرون. One more time. ينظرون. MashaAllah. So moving on. أجر. Again. أجر. One more time. أجر. حبل. 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 فصل. Remember this sad, you wouldn't say it as a sin. So if it was a sin, you'll say faslun, faslun, but it's a sad. So you are saying faslun. So you're bringing the mouth in and your lips are coming in together, and it's part of the heavy letters. So you are saying like that, okay? So faslun. One more time. Faslun. Next. عدن. 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 Next. خسر. 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 Alhamdulillah. We now move to page 26, where we've got some more of the exercise. Again, feel free to break this exercise down so that it's much more manageable for you. I know it's rather long to do it in one go, but if you did, then that's beneficial. So I'm going to continue. So please just repeat after me as before. مسغبة. Again. مسغبة. One more time. مسغبة. Moving on. متربة. Light ta. Okay. متربة. متربة. مقربة. قلقلة. Remember that. مقربة. مقربة. تضليل. Here the dad, it's not pronounced as a dal. So if it was a dal, it would be tadlilin, but it's not. So you can't say tadli. So you have to hold the dad. So the way you will pronounce this word is tadlilin. Okay, one more time. Tadlilin. So the dad is really staying within the chest almost, or my Ustadh used to say in the belly. So tadlilin. Moving on. Sidqin. Sidqin. And one final time. Sidqin. Next. Taqweemin. 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 Takdhibin. 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 Marfu'atin. 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 Mashhudin. Mashhudin. Majnunin. 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 Qadahan. 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 Subhan. 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 Naqa'an. 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 Albaban. 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 Ashtatan. 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 A'naban. Again here, you don't start with the ayn, you start with an alif. So a and then a, okay? A'naban. One more time. A'naban. Next. Atraban. Atraban. Afwajan. 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 Next. Bakhsin. 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 Yubkhasuna. Yubkhasuna. One final time. Yubkhasuna. Bakhilu. 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 Yabakhalu. 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 Anjaynakum. Again, you'll notice I'm holding the noon because jim falls into the ikhfa family. So I'm going to hold the noon. Anjaynakum. Okay, one more time. Anjaynakum. One more time. Anjaynakum. MashaAllah. Next. Naja'alu. 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 Najawta. 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 Najazihi. 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 Nujib. 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 Wal injila. So wow, and then it's got lam and alif. So lam comes first before the alif at all the time. So you have to join the lam, the sukun belongs to the lam, and then the kasra belongs to the alif. Okay, and that's how you would recite this word. So wal injila. Again, you'll notice I'm holding the noon. Okay, Wal injila. I'm holding it 2 harakats in this case. Okay, one more time. Wal injila. So alhamdulillah, this completes our lesson number 16. So I hope that's been very helpful and you've been able to go through it with me. I know it's rather long, so again, if it was long, you should have broken it up into 2 segments and recited it separately. But if you've got the time, go through it at one go. I don't think um, it's too much to ask for to sit for an hour and then go through this part of the session. Now, you are beginning to recite words from the Quran, directly from the Quran, with a variation of harakat or vowels on them, and the different rules you've been able to recite with me. So I hope that's been very, very helpful. And what I'd like you to do, because there's quite a lot of new things that I've introduced in this particular lesson, I would like you to repeat this lesson several times until you are absolutely comfortable and fluent with every one of the words that we've gone through, particularly where we've introduced the qalqala, the bouncing of the letter, where we've introduced the ghunna, where on the noon we hold the noon for a couple of seconds or 2 beats. So it's really important that you go through those sections, and particularly those words you're able to say it exactly the way that I've recited it. I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it easy for you and you're able to go through this section and complete the exercise again fluently and comfortably, so that you are very confident in reciting every one of these words, which are from the Quran, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for that. So until next time, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you in the best of health and in the best of iman. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We hope you benefited from this video. Please like, subscribe and share so that you too can be rewarded for the work that we do.